Well, good evening and welcome back. Delmarva. Maryland Governor Wes Moore has declared a state of emergency in preparation for the effects of Tropical Storm Ophelia. The executive order will allow the state to take actions to coordinate and request emergency resources and support. It will also enable the Maryland Department of Emergency Management and other agencies to engage, deploy, use, and coordinate resources to help keep Marylanders safe. You can get more details on how the state is preparing for those effects of the storm at 47abc.com. Well, the Maryland Folk Festival will be delayed until 3 p.m. on Saturday due to Tropical Storm Ophelia. Event officials announcing the delay Friday evening, saying the safety and well-being of all attendees, performers, and staff are their utmost priority. The event was slated to start at noon, but will now kick off at 3 p.m. due to the heavy rain and strong winds that will arrive as a result of the tropical storm. You can stay updated on any changes by heading on over to the Maryland Folk Festival's Facebook page. Meanwhile, in Crisfield, businesses are offering a helping hand ahead of Ophelia's arrival. Marion Pharmacy is keeping their parking lot open for anyone needing a safe place to keep their vehicle. Management tells us they're aware of the extreme impacts that heavy rain and wind can have, as that salt water could actually cause major damage to cars, adding it's the least they can do for a community that continues to support them.
Even without rain and some of the wind, a lot of these areas get a lot of tide and it goes into people's houses, their vehicles, and it really takes a toll on the community, that's for sure. And of course, Marion Pharmacy definitely cares about the community, so we just try to help out any way we can.
Yeah, and due to the weather conditions, pharmacy management have decided to close for business tomorrow. And at this time, we're going to throw things over to our own chief meteorologist, Rich Werdzik, for the latest concerning Tropical Storm Ophelia. Rich?
All right, Rob, let's get to it here. I want to start with some cameras in the area. This is our Morse Roofing and Siding Sky Cam in Rehoboth Beach. You see it bouncing around there as winds continue to gust. We've seen gusts along the coast. 40 miles per hour plus already. Check out our Ocean City camera here as we take a look at what's going on. It's just swung back around. Actually, I was going to show you the boardwalk. It was so bad that the camera was having so much rain and I know ocean spray against it. You really couldn't see, so they've had to move that around there, but you can see the winds have continued to pick up there. Current wind gusts across the area have been in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range, not just along the coast, but also inland. We've had some 40 mile per hour gusts. Look at these buoys here out in the waters, even the Chesapeake Bay, pushing past 40 miles per hour. The center of circulation of Tropical Storm Ophelia is still off the coast, set to make landfall Saturday morning in North Carolina. And I show you this track here. I know you see that L coming right toward us. The time that I expect us to see the worst weather is when that storm is in North Carolina. Once it starts to weaken into a tropical depression into Sunday morning, it's not that we're going to have great weather. It's just the threat for high winds, heavy rain, severe weather will start to go down. So that's my focus here is tonight and tomorrow. We'll talk about Sunday in a moment. Tonight through tomorrow morning, steady, heavy torrential rains, high winds, gusts, 40 to 50 miles per hour, higher along the coast. Then we'll transition to a tornado threat tomorrow afternoon. So that you might see the wind back off, you might see the sun come out, but the severe thunderstorm threat will increase. Rainfall totals overall for this storm 3 to 6 inches, if not more. Inland flooding a given. Storm surge and coastal flooding will be a problem too. Let's run down the warnings. Tropical storm warning in effect for half of Delmarva in the red. Northern areas under a wind advisory. Coastal flood warnings in effect for many locations. Northern Delmarva coastal flood advisories. So impact pretty much everywhere. Here's Tropical Storm Ophelia right here, just off the coast. Let's get a little closer. These rain bands coming through very heavy now in northern Delmarva. These have torrential rains in them, and they'll continue to lift north as we go into the nighttime period. Let's track it on Futurecast. I expect that torrential rain through the night. This is where we transition into the severe threat tomorrow afternoon. Notice the rain breaks up a bit. These are severe thunderstorms that potentially could have the tornado risk with them, and that will go into the evening. Taking a look at Futurecast wind gusts through tomorrow morning. Look at that 58 there in Ocean City. So we could have damaging winds through tomorrow morning. Some of the highest wind gusts start to back off, and that's when we transition, as I talked about, into that threat for individual severe thunderstorms. Coastal flood risk. Well, major coastal flooding expected for parts of Delaware, moderate flooding elsewhere. This can be a problem on both sides of Delmarva, even the bay side. And this goes through Sunday. You always know there's that lag effect with the coastal flooding. Rain heavy at times tonight. Winds will increase. Tomorrow we talk about the rain and high winds in the morning. afternoon storms, which could be severe. I'll have more coming up in a bit, and we'll have more DSI on the other side of the break.